to investigate, we have to identify the causes, eliminate the causes, and maybe you can eliminate the data points from the data set and do the testing once again. Okay. Then we have checked the normality test and the Anderson-Darling normality AD test we have done. In that, the p-value was greater than 0.05, which was indication that the process is normal distributed. Okay. Now let's go for the process capability. Let me just share the file once again. Now, once the stability and the normality test is done, the third point comes is the process capability. S and C, right? Stability, normality, and capability. Let's do the process capability analysis. Now, what is process capability, by the way? If you remember the definition, I write the definition once again. Ability of process to satisfy customer requirement. Now, what is customer requirement? The specification limits. Specification limits are nothing but the customer requirement. So customer requirement and specification limits are the same thing. Specification limits are nothing but upper specification limit and lower specification limit. What is that? So in this process, what is this? What is the what you can say acceptable what you can say range for the customer? So in this case, yes, exactly. So voice of customer. Okay, from the voice of customer, we derive the specification limit. Okay, so in this case, let's say upper specification limit is, let's say, 48 and lower specification limit is 36. So customer will accept the product between 36 gram to 48 grams. So anything beyond 48 grams will be rejected. Anything lesser than 36 gram will be rejected. Are you clear? So this is called customer requirement or specification limit. Now let's put this specification limit and check out what is our process capability. Okay. How do we do that? Go to stat, quality tools, capability analysis, and normal. Just go with this flow starting from stat, quality tools, capability analysis, normal. Stat, quality tools, capability analysis, normal. All right. Once this is done, click on that. This window will appear. I repeat again, stat, quality tools, capability analysis, and normal. This window will appear. In the single column, just select the chocolate weight. Okay. And because we are considering individual samples, so subgroup size is 1. That means what is subgroup, by the way? It is group of the sample. Group of the sample we are taking. So right now we are only taking one chocolate each individually. So we are considering subgroup size is 1 only. Okay. Now what is the lower specification limit is 36. Upper specification limit is 48. Just put that. Lower spec में 36 डालिए, upper spec में 48 डालिए, and go to options. Go to options. Instead of CP, capability stat CP, here you can see my cursor. Just select benchmark Z. Just select benchmark Z. Okay. Click on benchmark Z and say OK. You go. It is in options. Once you put 36 and 48 in the respective lower and upper specification limit, go to option and select benchmark Z instead of capability stat CP. Okay. Say OK and say OK. And you get this kind of graph. Everybody got this? Just type yes in the chat box. Very good. So this is called within capability. Now this is the short-term process capability. Short-term process capability. This is the long-term process capability. So because we are talking about the sample, so right now the Z bench is 3.93. That means my process capability is 3.93 sigma process. So my process is what? 3.93 sigma process. Like we say, na 6 sigma process. So in this case, the process is 3.93 sigma process, very close to 4 sigma process, we can say. Clear now? This is called the process capability analysis. Are you clear? Just type yes in the chat box. Everybody's clear with this? Very good. So we have done stability, we have done normality, and we have done capability. Okay. So in the green belt level, we cover stability, normality, capability separately. But in the black belt level, you can actually do 6-pack analysis. Now, what is 6-pack analysis? Okay, what is 6-pack analysis? Let me just identify this 6-pack analysis right now. First, clear this. So what is 6-pack? Go back to the data. Go to stat, quality tools, just below capability analysis, no? Just below capability analysis, there is something called capability 6-pack. Capability 6-pack normal. Okay. Just everybody stat, quality tools, just below capability analysis, there is something called capability 6-pack and just select normal. Now follow the same thing, same entry यहाँ पे करना है. Single column में just select chocolate weight. In the subgroup size, just put 1. Lower specification is 36. Upper specification is 48. Go to option. Go to option. And here just select the benchmark Z. Okay, just the same process what we have done. Say okay and say okay. Wow. Look at this. Everybody got this? Just type yes in the chat box. Sabko mila? This is called 6-pack analysis because in this we have got 6 diagrams in one shot. That's why it is called 6-pack analysis. Yes, okay. So I'll repeat the process. Go to stat, quality tools, 6-pack, capability 6-pack, normal. Okay. Once you select normal, then the next process is exactly same the process capability step what we have done. Select chocolate weight, select subgroup size 1, lower specification is 36 and upper is 48. Go to option and select benchmark Z. The same process. कुछ भी फर्क नहीं है. Click on OK and you will get this. Now here, what we have got here, the first one is eye chart, eye and MR chart. What we have already done, right? Eye chart and MR chart. So IMR chart is called stability. So यहाँ पे है stability. So they have done stability here. Then here they have done the normality, right? Normal probability plot यहाँ पे दिखा रहा है with the p-value of 0.256. And this is where the process capability of USL and LSL is given. Okay, this is histogram. Capability histogram is shown here. Okay, and here the capability plot also. So within which is the Z bench is 3.93. That's what. And overall, which is the long-term process capability is 3.46. So long-term process capability will be 3.4 and short-term process capability 3.93. So we can just showcase that as per the current sample of 120 data points, the current process capability is 3.93 sigma process. Clear, everybody? Just type yes in the chat box. So this is in one shot, you can do all this analysis. Okay, stability, normality, and capability, in one shot rather than doing it one by one. Okay, it will save your time. It will fast track your process capability analysis. Clear? Just type yes in the chat box. This is called 6-pack analysis. Amazing tool, fantastic tool. Yes, indeed. Absolutely, indeed. Clear? Very good. So now you guys can actually pull your own data. Okay. And basically you can, do this kind of process capability analysis, normality, capability, stability. Okay. If you have your own data, you don't have to share it to anybody. Okay. You have the software, you have the data, just put that data in the Minitab and do these kinds of analysis. That will give you confidence of, what you can say, calculating this, right? Now, for a lot of people, these two capability analysis, these two, limits might be confusing. Understand this? Okay. Now, these two limits are nothing but one is this upper and lower control limit, and second is this upper and lower specification limit. Okay. And both are different, by the way. Okay. Upper control and upper specification and lower control and lower specification, both are absolutely different limits. I hope everybody is aware of this. Are you aware of this? Just give me yes in the chat box. Control limits and specification limits. Very, very important differentiation. Everybody must be clear about it. I will cover this in 5 minutes. Are you aware of this? Just give me yes, no in the chat box. Pata hai? Ha, na? Very good. Super. So for the people who are not aware of this, let me quickly give you a differentiation between control and specification limit. Very, very important. In terms of process capability, this is very, very important. Yes, exactly. This is specification limits are set by customer. So here, let's make a note of this. Let's make control limits. Okay. Make a center line like this. And here specification limits. Okay. So, ऐसे निकालिए. In the control limits, write down. Control limits is set by, first of all, set by process. Write this down. And here, specification limit is set by customer. Okay. Control limit is set by the process and the specification limit is set by the customer. What is the second differentiating factor? Second differentiating factor is control limits is used in the control chart. Specifications are used. Where do we use? We used in the beside the histogram. Okay, remember हम लोग control chart में use करते हैं ना control limits इस प्रकार से, right? And specification limit we use in the histogram, correct? Anything which goes beyond this, it's called a defect, right? Now, so the third point is any data which goes beyond control limit. Any data which goes beyond control limit, it's called as special cause variation. Write this down. Special cause variation. and any data which goes beyond specification limit, it's called as defect or rejection. Any data which goes beyond specification limit, it's called defect or rejection. And any data which goes beyond control limit, it's called special cause variation. So control limits check the stability and specification limit basically check the capability. Write this down. Clear, everybody? Just make a note of this. This is the difference between control limit and the specification limit. Okay. So control limit is also called as voice of process, and specification limit is basically derived from voice of customer. From voice of customer, basically we derived voice of design. That is nothing but specification limit. Control limits are called as voice of process. How process is basically specifying its performance, that is called voice of process. And on the other side, we have specification limit. Any data which goes beyond specification limit is a defect. So from the voice of customer, what is customer requirement? That's called voice of customer. From that, we derive the voice of design, our design department basically. Okay. Design our voice of design or specification limit basically. Let's just take a screenshot of this. This is very, very important distinction. And what is the relationship between control limit and specification limit? What is the relationship between control limit and specification limit? There is no relationship between control limit and specification limit. Understand this? There is no relationship between control limit and specification limit. This is very, very important. Okay, maybe let me just write down here. There is no relationship between these two limits. Both are distinct limits, both are different limits, both objectives are different. One is defining the control limits, one is defining the specification limit. Both are different, decided by different entities. One is process, one is customer. Correct? So, and they both have no relationship with each other. Are you clear? Just type yes in the chat box, because a lot of people get confused between these two limits. Huh? तो ये फंडा क्लियर होना बहुत जरूरी है for us. So control limit is for stability and specification limit is for capability analysis. Clear, everybody? Just give me yes in the chat box. Clear? So what we have covered, everybody just give me the confirmation first. Any doubt, please do not hesitate to ask the doubts. These live sessions are basically meant to clear your doubts only. And your doubt can be absolutely any doubt. So do not hesitate. You must be very fresh. Okay, you have done your yellow belt and you have come to this session. Any doubt you have, please let me know in the chat box or in the question answer. You can unmute and ask the question as well. Anything which is feasible, we can do that. Clear, everybody? I hope everybody is clear with at least this. So what we have covered the stability check, which is the control charts. Then we have covered the normality. Then we have covered the capability, process capability analysis, right? With the help of practical Minitab exercise, we have done that. Then we have seen 6-pack analysis, in which we can do all these 3 stages: stability, normality, and capability in one shot. So we get 6 different graphs in one, in one graph, and that is called 6-pack analysis. Okay, it will save your time, it will save your efforts, so that going ahead after black belt, you can start using this 6-pack analysis in your projects as well. Okay, then we have seen the differentiation between the control limits and specification limit in this session. Clear, everybody? This is very, very important. Once the process capability is done, then whatever is the current process capability, that is also called as baseline process capability, our role is to improve that process capability to the next level, so that will show that yes, the process earlier was 3 sigma process. Now it has become a 5 sigma process, and there is a clear cut improvement. Okay, that's why this process capability analysis is important. As I mentioned earlier, first it is done in the measure phase, and then it is done after improvement, which is the control phase. You can do that. Okay. Yes.
Great, sir.
Haji.
Mukesh here. I want to ask one thing that if we are validating some causes, then the validation can be with the help of data or picture or video or Gemba walk.
Yeah, very
Am I
good.
right?
So, yeah, fantastic. So that's a fantastic question, by the way. So the question is for all the people. See, when we're in the analyze phase, right? As we always say that this is a data-driven approach, correct? We always have to validate this every assumption with the data. In the cause and effect and viva analysis, basically we do it with the help of our own knowledge, our experience, our opinions, basically. Okay. Now, when it comes to validation, ideally speaking, the first priority is to be given to the data. Okay, first priority. If let's say data is not available, let me give you a practical example. Okay, let's say people
Sir,
are not following. Let's say people are not following the standard operating process. Now, this is just a simple example I'm giving. Okay, people are not following the standard operating process. Now, for that, of course, you have the data which is showing that, okay, your rejection is going up or something like that, but you are not exactly. So one of the root causes, people are not following standard operating procedure, let's say in the night shift. Okay. Now, this is a perfect recipe. Now, how do you justify this point? People are not following the standard operating procedure. You have to record this. You have to take the photographs. You have to go to Gemba. Okay. There are certain cases where data validation is not practically feasible. That is where you can go for Gemba. Otherwise, data should be given the first preference always. Okay.
Okay.
Clear?
Earlier, I discussed a project with you, if you remember that the lumping reduction in transit.
Okay.
I have completed that project.
Wow, fantastic.
And
so you should, if possible, by masking certain information, you should share this with other people as well. Okay, maybe just
sir,
try it out. Yeah.
actually, I want to share that, but today my laptop have some problem,
No
so that I
problem.
can.
Maybe next time you can plan. No, next time we will plan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will
Yeah, yeah.
plan that. And currently, I am working on two projects also.
Perfect.
The powder reduction in pastillation and pellet formations.
Okay, that's great.
Then the pellet formation process has the manual approach in the plant. It's very old plant, so like machine cleaning is the one factor. Then I cannot prove that with the help of data. So
Correct.
I
So
asked that.
video recording करिए, या फिर photographs निकालिए. That will be better. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Correct.
And I am in the solution generating phase in both of these projects.
Wow.
And after some time, I will complete both these projects also.
Super. So आपके लिए एक स्पेशल सेशन रखेंगे, उसमें आप maybe एक दो प्रोजेक्ट्स आप कवर कर पाएंगे. You just take them through one by one, phase by phase, so that other people also will get idea about it and motivation and inspiration from you. Okay.
One point learning I can share that in these the lumping formation project. Actually, we cannot prove with the help of data, so we go to simulation of that process.
Okay.
Like on the hot plate, we create that scene that the truck base temperature is going upper side, and the insulation we are providing is not exactly what is the needed. So we simulate this process in the lab.
Wow.
With the help, we were unable to prove that our process is going in the wrong manner. So हमने उसको लैब के अंदर सिमुलेट किया, और सिमुलेट करने के बाद हम हमने फिर एसओपी के अकॉर्डिंग उसको कोरिलेट किया, तो
Okay.
हमारा जो कॉन्फिडेंस इंटरवल जो आया वो अमेजिंग था सर।
Very nice. Super. That's
जो
amazing.
हमने सॉल्यूशन जनरेट किया उसके बाद हमारा 421%
Okay.
हमारा कॉन्फिडेंस इंटरवल आया। सो वी विल नेवर गेट इफ द सॉल्यूशन विल इम्प्लीमेंटेड प्रॉपरली।
Okay. Very
यस
nice. So you can share this example next time so that people also will get the
सर,
idea.
यस सर, मंडे आई विल ट्राई टू कनेक्ट।
Yeah. Monday we will not have the train the trainer, but you can just plan on the next Saturday, coming Saturday, which will be on 22nd, I believe, right? Yeah,
यस
22nd.
सर,
Okay. Yes.
यस सर, यस सर। एक्चुअली since last 2 year I am also providing coachings of Lean Six Sigma, Yellow Belt and Green
Very
Belt,
nice.
SPC,
Superb.
MSA. Basically my background is teaching, and I joined the manufacturing excellence department since last two years back.
Okay. That's interesting. Very nice.
Yes sir, yes
So
sir.
you should actually take a lot of training sessions now in the train the trainer. Okay.
Yes sir, I can, but when I reach to home, it's
हाँ
7:30 around.
हाँ मे बी सो यू कैन स्टार्ट दैट वे नो 7:30 के बाद आप चालू कर सकते हो फिर इस
Yes
प्रकार
sir,
से आप
yes.
प्लान कर सकते हो ठीक है ओके
Okay, 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 okay sir.
ऑल द बेस्ट वेरी नाइस ओके एनी क्वेश्चन okay if you have any question just raise your hand if no question I have few tips for you in terms of how to manage your stress today okay थोड़ा स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट के टिप्स लेंगे एंड देन वी विल डिस्पर्स अवर सेशन हाँ जी बोलिए कोई क्वेश्चन है तो आप मुझे बताइए बाय द वे दिस आर ओनली 2 weeks लेफ्ट फॉर our referral bonus and MBB upgrade offer. Yes, everybody is clear about MBB upgrade offer. If you refer 4 people in the month of March, okay, you get 40% on each cashback, right? Apart from that, you will be automatically upgraded to the master black belt. And this offer will end at 31st of March. All right. So we have got, see, what you need to do is you just need to send your referral people to the yellow belt sessions so that they will go through it. Let them take the decisions. Okay. So let's say to make 4 referrals, maybe you have to send maybe 7 to 8 or 10 people. Okay. Out of which 4 people will definitely say yes. By seeing our offer, we are giving the best offer in India right now. And, our engagement levels are also, there are various live sessions we do, a lot of, mini tab supports also we have, mentor supports also we have. So, lot of advantages you get. Similarly, you can pass on that advantage to them as well. So they will, what you can say, they believe that this is helpful for their career. They will join in and you get automatically upgrade plus a cashback as well. Okay. So आपका भी investment वापस आ जाएगा as well as you will get a automatic upgrade. So tomorrow is what 16, right? So 16, 23rd and 30th. So there are only 3 Sundays left. So take the maximum out of it. Okay. तो 3 Sundays है उसका maximum फायदा उठाइए ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों को रेफर करिए इफ यू वांट एनी इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट इट जस्ट सेंड अ मैसेज ऑन दिस नंबर you just have to send the name in advance, that's it. Okay, and we will share with you the link of the current yellow belt session, so you can just distribute that link. That's it. It's a very simple process. There is nothing extravagant you have to do. Just have to send the message to them and let them enroll on their own, and you get the benefit of just referring them. Okay, clear? Fantastic. So make the most out of it, and it will take you to the next level. As well as it will be beneficial for their career as well. Okay, it's like helping them as well as helping yourself. Super. So clear. No question. If you have any question, please let me know about the offer, about the Lean Six Sigma study, what you're doing. Yes. No questions. No questions, meaning there are 2 reasons for this. One is you have understood everything or you have understood nothing. So I hope you have understood everything, right? All right, chalo. So See what in the Saturdays, basically, generally we have a little bit more spare time on Saturdays than on Monday, because Monday is very, what you can say, heavy loaded for everybody, including me. Okay. So, what we have decided to take maximum advantage of Saturdays. So the train the trainer, this is just to sharpen your training skills. Second is, so there will be my session in between. And then before we close the session, I will give you certain tips on meditation and on stress management or time management or communication skills or personality development, or there are a lot of other stuff I can speak about. So today I will talk about uh, managing the stress. There are n number of things we can do to manage the stress. Last time I mentioned about one very powerful technique called emotional freedom technique. How many of you have practiced EFT after our session? Just type me in the chat box. At least once or twice after the session. Just type me in the chat box. And have you got some benefit out of it? I would love to hear from you if you have got any kind of benefit. I think it was three weeks ago. We have done this special training session on emotional freedom technique. How many of you were there in that session? Just type me in the chat box. कितने लोग थे उस session में? In that emotional freedom technique, EFT, which was a tapping technique. If you remember, we used to tap our, our certain points, certain meridian points on our body. How many of you remember that? Okay. So Pandurang ji was there. Who else? Okay, you have not attended it. Ramesh ji missed it. Who was there, by the way? Just type me in the chat box. आप थे क्या उसमें? Yeah, Ishmael was there. Fantastic. Who else? Who else? Very good. Let me repeat this. Let me repeat, because it's a very important technique. See, first of all, let's try to understand the stress. This is very important. Let me just quickly. This is a big science, by the way. I've been covering this for a very long time. Of course, in various other forums. Yeah. Okay. Rajiv, also you were there. Very good. Very good. Very good. Now, see, only it requires practice, by the way. Okay. Now, first, let me give you some background about it. And then we will do this exercise so that you can use these techniques to reduce the stress. Stress, anxiety, fear, all these are negative emotions, basically, which create certain kind of, chemical reaction in our brain. Okay. And followed by, it trickles down to all the body parts, and the weakest link of our body part fails. And that is what we call it as disease. Okay. Now, there are two types of nervous systems, basically, we are talking about. One is called sympathetic nervous system, just for your understanding. Sympathetic, and other one is called parasympathetic. Okay. Now, sympathetic nervous system gets activated. So similarly, just make a note of this. Sympathetic nervous system gets activated when we are in the fight or flight mode. So fight and flight mode. Now, everybody is aware of fight and flight, right? Whenever we are stressed, for example, earlier when, the human being was in the Stone Age, whenever there was a lion or a tiger in front of the man, that was a stressful situation. But now the tiger has been replaced by other stresses, like, for example, your EMI is due and you don't have enough cash on in your account. You have a very important meeting and your presentation is not ready. There is an interview call and you have an interview with your managing director, employer's managing director, and you are not fully prepared for that. These are the stress creators points. Okay. So that is creating this fight and flight, basically, what you can say, in our body, which is called sympathetic nerve. It gets activated. Sympathetic nervous system gets activated, which generate this fight or flight. So either we, our heartbeat goes up, or the blood flow goes from the stomach, goes in our limbs, which is our hands, as well as For fight, we need more blood flow in our hands. To flight, which is the running, okay, we require more blood flow in our legs. Okay, so this basically takes out the blood from the stomach towards our limbs, okay, towards our hands and the legs. When on the other side, and by the way, in the sympathetic nervous system, we have the cortisol or adrenaline, these kinds of stress hormones or excitement hormones which gets secreted in our brain and which goes in our bloodstream. Okay, now what happens is, if these kinds of sympathetic nervous system gets activated multiple times, that's what, over the longer period of time, we start getting its symptoms. Like, for example, the blood pressure, high or low blood pressure, or you can say the heart diseases, or you can have the kidney diseases or the diabetes or all these things, where, see, whichever system in your body is weak, that's where these kinds of highly what you can say, these kinds of stress hormones which are getting released in this will get impact, or will give the impact. Okay, on the other side, the parasympathetic nervous system is nothing but, it is called as relax, rest and digest. Okay, now relax, rest and digest, where what kinds of chemicals? Dopamine, which is happy hormone. We all say dopamine, happy hormone, right? Endorphin, or serotonin, oxytocin, or all these are happy hormones, we can say. Okay, on the other side, cortisol, adrenaline, these are the stress hormones, and these are the happy hormones, where they will relax your heartbeats, they will put your blood flow again back to the digestion. You can just imagine a cow who is just sitting relaxed and just chewing whatever she has eaten last 15 minutes. She's just chewing, she's relaxed. Okay, so all blood flow is going in a digestive system, in a stomach, right? And this is where the parasympathetic nervous system is activated. Now, how do you basically, now this is a very important test. Okay, whether my sympathetic nervous system is active or parasympathetic nervous system is active, how do we identify? This is just a small test. Okay, just put your hand just below your nose. Okay, and just check where, at what point you can sense your exhale. Remember me. Okay, listen to me very carefully. Put your hand below your nose and just sense where you are feeling the sensation of your exhale. Okay, and just breathe normally. Don't push your exhale, just breathe normally. Just breathe normally. So I'm getting up to here. Everybody, few people must be getting here, few people must be getting somewhere here. How many of you are getting the distance between your hand and your nose is maybe half a feet? How many of you are getting the exhale sensation on your hand around half a feet, which is 12 inches below your nose? Are you getting when you're breathing normally? Anybody? Just type me in the chat box. Just go below. Just go below. Yeah? Whoever is getting below 12 inches, okay, that means the sympathetic nervous system is already activated. When you are super relaxed, the distance between your nose and the sensation of your exhale, with the normal breathing I'm talking about, okay, it will be much lesser than 12 inches. It may be 6 inches. It may be 3 inches, 4 inches below the nose. Are you understanding? So that means there is some stress going at the back end. As the distance increases, our exhalation becomes more powerful. Make a note of this. This is one way of identify. Yeah, so you're not highly activated right now. At 5 inches is absolutely normal. Okay, 6 inch tak normal. You can say 6 inch. You are you have a normal balanced one. If it is going below 6 inch, okay, going beyond 6 inch, 7 inches, 12 inches, etc. 12 inches meaning 1 feet, right? Some people might sense the one inch as well. All right. Now you just do this exercise whenever you are about to go for a speech, about to go for an interview. All right. Now let's do one thing. Apart from that, uh, right now, think about right now what is a stress point in your mind right now. It can be, as I mentioned to you, it can be your boss, it can be a presentation next day, it can be an interview schedule, it can be an exam, it can be a result of your child, whatever it is. Just put your focus on one stress point right now, which is it can be your health, it can be some of your relationship, whatever it is, right? Just put your focus on one stress point. Have you identified that? Just put one stress point right now. Identify one stress point in your mind. We will do an exercise right now just to reduce that stress level. Have you identified? Just give me yes in the chat box once you have identified. Anything. Anything which is bothering you right now. Anything which is making you a little unstable, a little stressed. Okay. So right now, for example, if you are feeling lot of agitation because of that, okay, you have to give a rating in your mind on the scale of 1 to 10. If the stress level is very high, that will be 10. 10 meaning extremely high, extremely stress, extreme fear, anxiety, anger, jealousy, all the extreme negative emotions is 10. Okay, if you are feeling some kind of medium emotion, maybe you can just put 6 or 7. If I would highly encourage you to take a little higher stress emotion. Okay, it can be worry. It can be worry about your health or your finances or your job stability. It can be anything. Have you identified? Just put your stress number in the chat. What is your current stress number for that point on the scale of 1 to 10? It can be 3, it can be 4, it can be 7, it can be 9, it can be 10 as well. Okay, very good. 7, 4, 9. Everybody put your stress number. Stress rating. We will call it as stress rating. Okay, 7, 4, 9 is very high number, by the way. 8 is also very high. 9 is also very high. 10 is extremely high. 10 meaning extremely high. Okay, very nice. Super. Now let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. Now, what technique I'm going to explain you in this next 5 minutes, it's called as EFT. Okay, this technique we are going to learn today, which I had covered earlier as well. Today also we are covering this. It's called as EFT, which is nothing but emotional freedom technique. Emotional freedom technique. Now, these are emotional turbulence in our system, which if we are not taking care of it, we have to basically it will create a chaos in our mind, in our body, in a long run. Okay. Now let's release this. How to release this? This is called karate chop point. Okay. Take your left hand. This is called karate chop point. This point. Okay. Here you have to just tap. Now, for example, I am taking one case like now you have to speak for your own case. Okay. In your mind, you can speak or you can speak aloud if you are alone in the room, etc. If you're comfortable, right? Now, you have to speak in the mind that, let's say, for example, I'm taking a stress point as if I have to, I'm worried about, let's say, my child's examination. Okay, I'm just giving a very simple example. I'm just worried about my child's academic, what you can say, progress and examination. Whenever I think about it, I feel stressed. Okay. whenever I think about the child's progress, I feel stress. I'm just giving you an example so that you can make your own example. You can. And I'm acknowledging that stress in the system, and I am deciding to release that. So what we are doing here is we are acknowledging, we are not resisting, we are acknowledging that stress. It can be anything. Okay, so your stress point can be anything, but the final statement is I'm acknowledging and I'm deciding to release that stress from the system. Are you clear? Now, remove your specs if you have any specs. Now, listen to me very carefully. Now, this is the first point you need to tap. Okay, where your eyebrows are starting. Okay, now how to tap? Just take these two fingers, both hands, and tap it like this. And you have to say that I'm releasing this stress from the system. Second point is just where the eyebrows are ending. This is called a temple point. Here, I'm releasing the stress from the system. First point is here on the start of the eyebrows in the center. Second point at the end of the eyebrow. Just tap very gently. You don't have to beat like this. Okay. खून नहीं निकालना यहाँ से. Okay. Just tap it gently. Third point is just below, one, what you can say, one finger below your eyeballs. All right. I'm releasing that stress from the system. All right. Fourth point is below your nose and between your nose and the upper lip. Okay. Here. Tap it like this and say that I'm releasing the stress from the system. The next point is just on your chin. I'm releasing my stress from the system. Uske baad, next point is at your collarbone. Look at this collarbone. Okay. If you, if you press here, there will be two bones you can sense. You can sense couple of bones here. Okay. Just tap it over there. I'm just releasing the stress from the system. All right. Then on your forehead, I'm releasing the stress from the system. Now I'm just repeating the sequence once again. Here, I'm releasing the stress from the system. I'm releasing the stress from the system. Okay. Say this. Third, below the eyes, I'm releasing the stress from the systems. Under the nose, I'm releasing the stress from the system. On the chin, releasing the stress from the system. On the collarbone, releasing the stress from the system. On the this is called a crown chakra point. Okay. I'm releasing the stress from the system. In the final round, I will just say release. On the temple point, release. Below the eyes, release. Below the nose, release. On the chin, release. On the collarbone, release. On the crown, release. Now, just hold your wrist, left wrist like this, and take a deep breath and release. Just release your, air from your mouth. And say release. We have done 3 rounds. Okay. Yes. First the acknowledgement, and then we have done the 3 rounds like this. All right. Now tell me whatever stress number you had earlier. Okay. Just close your eyes, and do you have a little drop in the stress number right now? Just let me know. What was your earlier number and what is your current number? Type in the chat box. Everybody. Yes, got some kind of a little relief now, right now. The first relief is because, you know what? The moment we acknowledge it, that there is a stress, it starts to shrink. This is the first very powerful principle. You acknowledge the stress. Let's look at the stress. What is the stress? Okay. Earlier it was, So, Ujjalji, it was 10. Now it is 8. It was 6 for you and it is 3 now. Okay. From 7 to 4. Fantastic. Now what we will do is, now do the acknowledgement once again. Okay. With that stress, because of this tapping around, it has been reduced, but still there is some kind of stress I can feel. And I still want to release that stress from the system. I'm deciding to release everything, all the stress from the system right now. All right. Yes. And do this. I'm releasing the stress. I'm releasing the stress. I'm releasing the stress. I'm just doing a little faster because you have already known the system now. I'm releasing the stress. I'm releasing the stress on the chin. I'm releasing the stress on the collarbone. I'm releasing the stress on the temple point, on the, on the crown point. Release. 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 While releasing, no, you can just see, you can imagine some kind of negativity going out of your aura, out of your system. Release. Release. Take a deep breath and say release. Now, just in 5 seconds, just remain in that amazing feeling of releasing the stress. Now just check the stress point once again. Okay, it would have gone even 1 or 2 points further down. This is so powerful technique because what is happening is whatever tapping we are doing, no, this basically we are tapping on meridian points. Okay, meridian points is the this is the point where all our what you can say, the energy which the Chinese and Japanese people call it chi. Okay, in our Vedic tradition, it's called as prana. Right, that pranic energy basically flows through these meridian points, and we are tapping those very powerful points which can trigger those energies and releasing our what you can say, reducing our sympathetic nervous system and activating our parasympathetic nervous system. It is a quick activation of parasympathetic nervous system which can release the dopamine, endorphin, serotonin, oxytocin. All these are what you can say, happy hormones release we get, and that's where the stress level goes down. And naturally, without any chemical. See, whenever you go for psychiatric doctor, they will give the same chemicals in the tablet format. Okay, so rather than taking that in a tablet format and taking the the side effects for the long run, this is a natural way of activating these chemicals in your brain, in your system. So this is a very powerful technique for stress release. Okay, another technique is, just shake your hands like this. Whenever you feel stress, just shake your hands, shake your body, shake your legs. All right. And then dancing is also a fantastic way of releasing the stress. Pets or small babies is, also very fantastic way of reducing your stress level. So whenever you get time, to make sure that, relax yourself, use this EFT technique, use this kind of, shaking, listen to the music which you love. If you love the light music, classical music, or, some ghazals or whatever you feel like. All right. That will reduce your stress levels as well. There are so many stress reducing tracks which are available on YouTube. You can play those tracks on the back end. It will start playing and it will keep your stress levels down. All right. So EFT's full form is emotional freedom technique. Emotional freedom technique. And you can, just start practicing this. It will reduce your stress for a very long time and make you more successful on the long run. Okay, how many of you will what you can say, follow this? Because I use this before I go back to the go to the bed. I use this small EFT technique, and then emotional freedom technique. Yes. Now let's say, for example, if you want to go for an interview, now you cannot do this sitting in the office, right? So what you can do is, three times. So first is acknowledgement, and then these are the three rounds. Okay, and then check this what you can say, that number, stress number. If the stress number is reduced, so you get a number in your mind that's you have to believe. That's it. There is nothing called how do I believe in that number, etc. Just believe on your gut feeling. All right. Now, I'll give you another way. If you are in front of public and you cannot do all these things, right? So public will start say that ye pagal ho gaya hai. All right. So in that case, what you need to do is, there is this point, right, where our what you could say, just a second, somebody got unmuted. Yeah. When we check the pulses, correct? Okay, the doctors check the pulse. So this point, basically, we can just tap gently and do the same way, same acknowledgement as well as releasing technique. So this is also a very powerful meridian point. Just tap it over here. This is a very, very powerful short tapping method where even, on a public platform, or you can just travel, you are traveling on a bus, or, in a metro or something like that. You can just keep on tapping, okay, while going for an interview or while going for a presentation. You can just do that. Before entering to the hall, just do this. Acknowledge this, and then I'm releasing this stress from the system. I'm releasing the stress from the system. Release, release, release. Take a deep breath and leave that and say release. And then you enter into the room and then see the magic of this. Okay. So this also you can use in the public forum, wherever you cannot use this full EFT in front of people. Okay. So I think start using this. It will release your stresses and make you stress-free so that you can perform at your best. Okay. Thank you very much for joining in. Keep, thanks, Professor. Okay. Keep learning and keep practicing. That's the most important thing. And keep upgrading and share your success stories with all of us and motivate and inspire others. Okay. Thank you for joining. This is Dinesh Patil signing off. Bye-bye. Take care. We will connect again on Monday with some new topic, with some new enthusiasm. Bye-bye.